Launching a platform is not a simple job. We have seen this with the chicken and egg paradox and all the strategies and tactics to overcome it. Unfortunately, once the platform is launched, we are again not faced with a simple entity to manage. Platforms are based on a balance between the sides, between the work that the platform does and the work that customers do with their various roles. The platform provider's task is then to manage the platform in its maturity phase. The first aspect we want to address in relation to this issue is the customers that get on the platform, whether they are on the demand or supply side, asking for offering something in the platform world. We know that we need many of them in order to activate network externalities and reach a sufficient critical mass to start growing. But is quantity the only driver? Let me tell you a story. That of an Italian platform that has achieved great results across Europe. I'm talking about Be My Eye. Be My Eye was founded by Gianluca Petrelli in 2011, as it often happens starting from a simple observation of a daily situation. In those months, Gianluca made a commercial agreement with some American supermarkets for the promotion of an Italian olive oil. He wondered if the money spent to access a specific position on the customer shelf or on posters was well spent. He knew that, being in another continent, it was virtually impossible to check if the agreements were actually being respected. Everything changed when he realized that many people were in that same moment in those supermarkets and could easily send him a picture with their smartphone to show if and how the agreements had been broken. From this simple consideration, he created Be My Eye, the platform that allows companies to give small tasks related to the retail world that can be solved with a photo or a similar action by anyone who wants to receive a small amount of money back. The demand side is companies, the supply side is eyes, those of whom want to accomplish at least one of these tasks. Be My Eye is now a leader in its sector in Europe. They created and established a network of customers on the demand side. And here emerges a key point of a platform maturity stage. What would happen if tomorrow Be My Eye was downloaded by millions of users, maybe concentrated in a specific geographical area, let's say for example Milan? They would probably find an almost useless platform within a very short time, because there might be not tasks for everyone. Moreover, these might create asymmetries and malfunctioning also on the other side. The same company might see the mission launched in Milan immediately fulfilled, while a similar mission launched in other less populated areas such as Capri might take much longer time to complete or even remain incomplete. Such a situation would heavily affect the credibility of a service offered by Be My Eye. This example allows us to highlight two things. First, is that platforms are not all the same. A service like Be My Eye has specific characteristics similar to other cases like BlaBlaCar, but completely different from others like eBay, for example. First of all, there is a physical geographical dimension to the platform, even though it is a digital service. A company might require hundreds of missions of the same type but scattered across the country. So the presence of eyes in large cities, but also in smaller towns, becomes crucial. Second, there is a temporal nature of a service. The match must necessarily take place in a reasonable amount of time. This is not true for all platforms, but it allows us to see how variables, such as the physical size of a service, or being based on durable goods like Airbnb rooms, or on one-shot services like BlaBlaCar or Be My Eye, have significant implications on the platform management. The second thing we see, and it's a fundamental point, is related to the balance between the two sides. It is clear that each platform must have a certain type of balance between the two sides. But this case tells us how it is also necessary to choose, at least partially, who goes on one of the two sides. In other words, in addition to the quantity of customers on a side, it is also important to consider its quality. Some actors are more valuable to the platform because they possess certain characteristics, which, in the case of Be My Eye, is mainly their geographical position. Quality, at a certain point in the growth of a platform, can become more important than quantity, and it is up to the platform provider to understand this and implement concrete actions to manage the balance. In the case of Be My Eye, the company decided never to do a generalist marketing campaign to directly increase the number of eyes without control. They instead activated Facebook ads in a spot way, in the areas where new eyes were needed. Similar dynamics happens in many platforms. An interesting case is that of Friends. We saw them as a case to explain the chicken and egg paradox. Friends asks users to take photos of products and post them on social networks, to micro-influencing for brands which pay for the service. In this case, the quality of a photo is a crucial variable. On the one hand, there is a filter, managed by the staff, that control the photos. Still, on the other hand, they work to increase the quality of their providers. They developed a process based on not branded campaigns that help users through a gamified mechanism to constantly improve the quality of their photos. We conclude by saying that there's not a single answer to the dilemma quantity versus quality, but the two strategies are often followed over time. A focus on quantity, often combined with a mechanism such as feedbacks or filters at the entrance, aimed at creating a minimum level of quality, is useful in the early stages of the life of a platform to reach the critical mass and begin to grow by overcoming the chicken and egg paradox. At the same time, a focus on quality can be useful in the maturity phase, even taking on different forms. Quality as a good mix, making an assessment that allows you to understand if adding someone to one of the two sides creates confusion, leading to the paradox of choice, or increases the perceived value from the other side. For example, avoiding adding a pizzeria to a food delivery platform when there are other 10 similar pizzerias in the area, but instead favoring a sushi restaurant if there are none. Quality as the right one, as in the case of Be My Eye, looking for the perfect customers to keep the match between the two sides balanced. In that case, on the basis of geographical location. Third, quality as a process, as in the case of Friends with gamification, going to create an experience in the platform that allows those who go there to reach a higher level of quality in the activity they do.